More often than not, I have a really hard time picking out an outfit, but Armoire makes getting dressed super easy. With a clothing rental membership from Armoire, build the perfect wardrobe with brands that are high quality, unique, and recommended just for you. All you have to do is take a 5-minute style quiz and select items from your dynamic, personalized closet. The styles show up at your door in as little as 2 days. Then when you're ready for new clothes, just swap them out for more new to you styles. I'm currently on this dress kick, but not just any dress, dresses with cutouts. And I was so excited to find quite a few on Armoire that I'm able to rotate between beach outings, brunches, and of course, walking my dog in style. Right now, for our listeners, you can give Armoire a try and get up to 50% off your first month. That's up to $125 off. Just visit armoire.style/dateable. That is armoire.style, spelled ARMOIRE.style/DATEABLE, and get up to 50% off your first month. And never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today.
For us women, that time of the month can be the worst. The cravings, the bloating, and PMS. Ugh. Like I mentioned, I've been using Hormone Harmony to balance my hormones, and it's really helped with relieving my mood swings and just not feeling so off. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens, which help the body adapt to stressors like hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life, which is why Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to making women's lives easier. It has 0 sugar and is gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested. The product is so popular, a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. For a limited time, you can get 15% off on your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code DATEABLE at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DATEABLE for 15% off today. Hello, Dateables. It is time for a quickie with me, Julie. I just got back from Italy last week and definitely experiencing some jet lag. I have woken up at 4:30 a.m. every day except for today, but have been completely slow moving. But I had to come record something that's been on my mind. And I'll definitely share more about my trip on upcoming episodes, but I did want to share maybe one low light of my trip. You know, the stuff that doesn't get on Instagram. This was actually the first longer trip that I did with my partner. We've been to Hawaii and Mexico, but that was, 5 days, and this was 13, including travel. That's a lot of time to be with one person. And even though we live together, he's at work, I'm doing my thing, and we really see each other in the evenings and on weekends. So inevitably something will happen on a trip. And for us, it was when we were in Cinque Terre. And for anyone who is unfamiliar with the area, this is on the Italian Riviera, and it translates to 5 lands, which describes the 5 towns that are connected through hiking and ferries and trains. So on our full first day there, it was an orange alert due to the weather, which basically meant that a lot of things were shut down, including the trails and even restaurants. Like our town was completely shut down because of the rain and the wind. So all day, it actually didn't pan out. It was pretty mild, but at night, it started coming down heavily. So all day, my partner and I explored the different towns by train, and it was pretty easy. Like, the trains came regularly, and we also discovered that 2 towns were a bit more open than the one we were staying in. So we decided to bear the rain and take the train to dinner in one of those towns. So we had this incredible dinner. I'm really glad that we went there for dinner. But we realized that the trains actually come on the hour at night, not every 15 minutes like in the day, which was all good. We realized this at dinner, planned accordingly, still got to the train early, but we discovered then that it was delayed by a lot because of the rain. The other thing is that after midnight, the trains stop until 5 a.m. And there are no cabs here. There's no cars. Trails aren't something that you can really do at night. And they were also closed because it's raining heavily. It's all good though, because we have our train that's coming despite it being delayed because I'm tracking it in the train app. So I'm there watching it like a hawk because I'm anxious. And even though I know it's coming, I still feel that anxiety creeping in. And all of a sudden, like the app stops updating for some reason. And I'm just like kind of freaking out a little. So as this is happening, another train shows up, and it's not one that we've seen on the app at all. And we're a little like, where's this coming from? Should we get on? Should we not? And I'm like, I don't think we should, because I haven't seen this one in the app at all. And not all of them stop in every town. But my partner felt strongly that we should get on. So we did. And we're on it, and it all just like happened really quickly. And I start freaking out because I'm like, I don't think this train is going to our destination. So he eventually got on the same page and realized it was not. So we got out at the town after ours, and it's downpouring. And it's also getting closer to that 12 a.m. cutoff time. So I'm freaking out a little, and maybe I'm a little angry. Maybe a lot angry, and for leading us astray. And he's apologizing. It's cold. I'm like honestly thinking we're going to be spending the night in this train station because there are limited hotels there. And there was, again, no path back to our village that we were in. But luckily, there's one more train that's coming into our town before that 12 a.m. cutoff time. So it ended up being okay. We got on the train. That one actually wasn't super delayed. So we made it. And we get on and make our way back. But let me tell you, so many thoughts were going through my head at this time. Like, is my partner someone I can trust? Can I count on him? Will he keep me safe? Like, all of the stuff that I really have not once questioned in our 3+ years together, because we haven't been in a situation that made me feel this way. But my anxiety is in overdrive, so the overthinking starts. And, I'm making all these correlations that like really aren't anything, but like in my head, it was just going at rapid speed. And eventually I stopped myself. It was a mistake. He made a mistake, and mistakes happen. I could have just as easily made the same mistake, especially when you're in a foreign place in unfamiliar situations. And when I said this to him, like I was like, I'm not upset. I know you made a mistake. He just felt so relieved, and like he felt seen. Just the whole energy shifted, and it went back to more of a loving relationship. And he felt terrible that this happened, but like even worse that I was upset. So I think just having that bridge to just be like, this is not indicative of anything. Like, a mistake happened. That's all it was. Overthinking has always been a thing for me, like especially in dating. I've attached way more meaning to things than they actually mean. And I think it's normal. And so many of us do this because, especially people like all of you and you and I that are drawn to analyzing and understanding dating, like overthinking is going to happen. And it's great in some ways. Like, of course, just understanding and thinking about things, that's not like bad things. Like those are good ways to be. And of course, like you want to think long and hard about who you end up with and trust and bring into your life. But there is a point where overthinking gets in your way. So thinking, good. Overthinking, point of diminishing returns, if not actually detrimental to actually having relationships. Because a lot of times, like when we're always finding the red flags or we're always attaching meaning to small things that can mean anything, then it's really hard for someone to ever be able to like break through that. Like for instance, when someone doesn't text back, we draw conclusions like they don't like us or they're an unreliable person. Maybe it's like, I can't trust this person. This person doesn't show up. But it also could mean that they were in a meeting or they were sleeping, or maybe they made a mistake thinking they texted back when they didn't, because it does happen. I've talked about one of my best friends on this podcast, how she met her now husband in Brazil. And in those 5 days together, they knew that there was something here, and she decided to move to Mexico with him for 2 years. They didn't know that at the time. But anyways, uprooted her life to Mexico for someone she just met, basically, because he couldn't come to the US then. And as someone who maybe, is a little more logical, my partner and I both are a little more logical. We're just like, how can this work? Like, how are you going to make this work? Like all the thinking of the ways it wouldn't work. But my friend, luckily, is different. She's definitely more of that, like go with the flow, just letting shit happen, not getting so caught in her head. And here they are 2.5 years later, back in San Francisco, married with a kid on the way. If she thought her way out of this, that wouldn't be her life today. Of course, like things could happen the other way too. I'm not saying that it's inevitable if you don't think about anything that it will just automatically mean that it leads to that outcome. But I think her take was, I'm just going to try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least I just tried it and didn't just like get in my own way and not even like see the result because I was so caught in my head. And if she thought her way out of this, like this would not be her life today. So just like if I let one mistake get in the way of how I viewed my partner, who has made me feel safe and who has not led me astray, and someone I trust deeply in every other instance. So I hope leaving you with this can be a reminder when the overthinking starts to go into gear. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes things just need time to play out, and some things need more faith. And I'm not saying this to not think about who you end up with, but overthinking isn't the answer either. It just puts us in a state of analysis paralysis, projecting the future that hasn't actually happened yet. And our brains can fill in whatever narrative we want it to. So if we're going to go into like why something can't work, then the brain is going to fill in those gaps. So it's up to us to stop it at some point and be like, actually, this isn't what's happening. Like I was finally able to deal with the mistake and be like, it was just a mistake. There's no deeper meaning here. Or I don't know what's going to happen because the events haven't played out yet. And what I'm imagining right now is not the whole story. So this is the case for underthinking. The reality is none of you will ever be underthinkers because we're not wired that way. Let's be honest. If you're with this podcast, we're probably not wired that way. But this can help curb the overthinking a bit and let things just happen. So hopefully this resonated. Hope you can have a great rest of the week. We'll see you on Sunday for a brunch talk, and make sure to claim your extra freebies with any pre-order of the book that we announced last week. So again, if you missed the announcement, anyone that pre-orders our book, How to Be Dateable, that comes out in January, we are giving away $108 worth of extras because we know pre-ordering is kind of a weird thing. Like we know that it's not something that there's that much incentive to do. Like I feel like I can count the number of books I pre-ordered on my hands, but it's really to show support. And in return, we want to make sure that we're giving you some benefits as well. So that's why pre-order gifts happen. Other authors do this too. And we're excited to deliver those to you. We've heard from some people that have already redeemed how much value that they see already. So really hope you can also claim yours. So if you haven't pre-ordered yet, you can go to howtobedateable.com or any of the major book retailers, pre-order now, and then you go to step 2 and claim those freebies. Or if you already pre-ordered Gold Star, just go to step 2 and get those freebies. Okay? Well, enjoy and we'll talk soon. Bye.